A break in the case. Tonight we're learning more about the arson investigation at Great Falls High School.
Plus, a plan moving forward how Great Falls Public Schools will reopen safely.
And later, an increase in harmful and dangerous algae on area rivers. Details ahead.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Plus, millions of dollars to help Montana families with child care options. Thanks for making KRTV part of your evening. I'm Tim McGonigal.
And I'm Hallie Schwinnard. First tonight, we're learning more about an arson investigation after a fire ignited at Great Falls High School last month.
Great Falls Police Public Information Officer Doug Otto told MTN their initial findings involve 2 juvenile male suspects. A 9-year-old is charged with arson in youth court. We're told a 7-year-old was also at the scene. Otto says that that minor is not facing charges due to his age. The fire broke out on campus July 30th. Fire officials told MTN News the damage appeared minor. Cascade County Attorney Josh Rackey says the charges from this case will most likely be settled through the youth court probation system.
Great Falls Public Schools will officially reopen on August 26th. Monday night's Great Falls Public Schools meeting featured hours of discussion, including lengthy talks on finalized reopening plan. Some of the highlights of the plan included offering both face-to-face and remote learning options to students, requiring masks in most settings, limiting spectators at student events, and rearranging some schedules to make physical distancing easier.
We've had to sit down and work through a lot of the protocols and a lot of the scenarios and so forth together with our health officials, with our community, and with our staff and our unions and so forth. So we have to be flexible and adaptable. That's one thing we've learned and seen throughout this pandemic, is that things crop up and come at you that were unexpected. And so you've got to be able to be adaptable and flexible to deal with those things, and then collaborative.
Board members agreed that this plan is likely to change between now and the start of school on August 26th, and even beyond that. You can find the full details of the reopening plan on our website. This week, Great Falls Public Schools is hosting a shortened version of its annual summer music camp. And while its goal is for students to develop skills, this year it offers a chance for teachers to practice COVID protocols before the start of the year. Isaiah Dunk explains.
School districts have scrambled to fine-tune details about coming back and being COVID safe, but some classes require extra detail, like music classes. Luckily, at Great Falls Public Schools, Summer Music Camp is here for practice, both for students and teachers.
They're very excited to play, and it's always fun to see, especially the beginners, take those first steps on a new instrument. And it's really good training for my teachers and me to see if any of these plans that we're putting into place actually work. We've got lots of tweaking to do, we're learning a lot, but it'll really help us kind of roll into the fall with a few more plans in place.
When the real classes begin, percussion and stringed instruments may just need some extra cleaning, but singing and wind instruments spread respiratory droplets. Molyneux said plans are in place to help mitigate that, including masks and air exchange between classes.
As far as reducing the way that we have aerosols coming out of instruments in the band room, we've got some ideas there. We're going to be using bell covers to help out with that, and kids will be wearing masks unless they're actually playing the horn. It looks like if we can keep singing to like less than half an hour at a time with masks on, we're not going to be generating enough aerosols to make a huge spread in the classrooms.
In addition to the classroom changes, Great Falls students will have far fewer performance opportunities, at least at first. But Molyneux is optimistic.
We are doing our best to keep these programs alive. We want them to thrive again down the road. Stick with us. You know, we've got to make some changes here, but everybody's going through this kind of thing. But now is not the time to stop making music. We'll find ways to do this safely, and again, down the road in a year, maybe less, we'll be able to do this just like we were used to before.
In Great Falls, Isaiah Dunk, MTN News.
The state of Montana will be directing $50 million in coronavirus relief funds towards maintaining and expanding child care and support for Montana families. Grants will be available for organizations to ensure and build upon child care for school-age children during out-of-school time, and for families with special circumstances requiring in-home care, such as a child that has underlying health conditions like severe asthma or may be immunocompromised. $8 million will also be given as supplemental payments to all licensed and registered child care facilities to maintain and expand child care slots. The state says childcare is desperately needed right now for many families and a service we can't afford to lose.
Especially related to the pandemic and heading into the school year with uncertain times. We need to make sure that families have the support they need to adjust to whatever the plans are for the school district and to make sure that kids are taken care of so parents can go back to work.
The child care grants and scholarships will become available August 19th at covidreliefmt.gov. Payments to child care facilities will begin to be processed on September 1st. Well, since yesterday, the state is reporting 97 new COVID cases. Phillips County seeing the state's biggest jump in coronavirus cases today, reporting 27 new cases today. There's now 55 active cases there. Sad news out of Lewis and Clark County, which is reporting its second COVID death. And across Montana, there have been 78 deaths related to coronavirus. Much of Montana now under a red flag warning, so we're going to send things over to our Storm Tracker weather team. Grant Garland joins us with the latest. Grant?
Good evening, Tim, and good evening, everyone. I hope that you have had a great Tuesday so far. And that's right, we are now looking at much of the state under a red flag warning. The National Weather Service have issued kind of two parts now. So everyone west of Lewistown, this warning will be lifted around 9 p.m. tomorrow. And then for those east of Lewistown, looking at the red flag warning being lifted around midnight on Thursday. This is all due to, well, low humidity levels as well as the gusty winds. Let's take a look across Montana right now. Great Falls 89, Helena 90, Lewistown 87, and Hayes 88. Elsewhere 91 in Glasgow and 95 in Jordan, 90 in Havre. As far as our winds are concerned, 13-mile-per-hour winds in Great Falls as well as Kalispell, and that appears to be the breeziest conditions, so to speak. Over the last 3 hours, we have been looking at dry conditions with showers and thunderstorms sparking off east of Glendive and Miles City. As we head throughout the rest of the day, 74 degrees by 9 p.m. Coming up, I'm going to break down our fire parameters for tomorrow, but for now, back to you.
Thanks, Grant. With many people heading to Montana's waterways to beat the heat, officials are reminding people to be on the lookout for harmful algal blooms. These blooms can produce toxins that damage skin, liver, and nerve cells. People should keep an extra eye out for children and pets. DEQ often receives reports of dogs getting sick, even dying from swimming in harmful water. There are currently more than a dozen algal bloom advisories across the state. DEQ advises people to report any potential harmful blooms that they find.
People are out recreating and they're not sure. I recommend they just err on the safe side and avoid coming into contact with that water. Grab a photo, and when they're back in cell service, they can submit that.
More information about active harmful algal blooms and where you can submit those sightings can be found on our website.
In Tuesday's regularly scheduled Cascade County Commission meeting, one of the agenda items was a motion to cancel over $650,000 in unpaid personal property taxes. Those taxes have been delinquent for 5 or more years. The motion passed unanimously, but not without objections. Per Montana state law, the commission is required to cancel taxes for deficient properties on a list provided by the county treasurer, something that didn't sit well with Commissioner Joe Briggs.
We have a problem with just writing off debt and let people skate. But my understanding of the statute is we don't have a choice. The reality is a lot of these properties will not change hands as a result of this action and get somebody new. We'll just start accruing new unpaid taxes from the same scofflaws.
Other action taken by the commission included approval of a proposal to purchase 4 new all-wheel drive motor graders for just under $500,000. Well, the city's plan to use tax increment financing funds for the $5.5 million repairs to the downtown Civic Center facade cleared another hurdle this afternoon. The Great Falls Planning Advisory Board unanimously approved a motion to make an amendment to the Downtown Urban Renewal Plan, which allows the city to use TIF funds to complete the repairs. Access to the Civic Center was restricted after the front panels started to crack and buckle. The city proposed using TIF funds to avoid raising public taxes, but some of the downtown community would also like to see that money be used for upgrades to private buildings. For more on this story, you can visit KRTV.com.
Calumet Montana Refining is conducting their annual river spill response drill today and tomorrow. Workers were in Giant Springs State Park today, deploying what they called containment booms in the Missouri River. According to a rep from Calumet, workers chose the park as today's site because it's an environmentally sensitive area, which must be protected from potential oil pollution. The company said in a statement, quote, Calumet has great partnerships with local emergency response agencies through the Local Emergency Planning Committee. We work together to respond to situations that threaten the health or environment of our community. The training is one that we stayed prepared to protect health and safety. This relationship is mutual, and Calumet stands ready to assist other agencies as well. The exercise is conducted every year to comply with EPA and DOT training protocols.
A Fort Benton man who was a lifelong smoker received a devastating diagnosis back in March. Joseph Curl went to the doctor for an earache, and it turned out he was suffering from aggressive small cell lung cancer, same disease that had claimed his mother's life. His doctor recommended chemotherapy and radiation treatments right away. The Fort Motel maintenance man and former Marine agreed, but he wasn't about to go down without a fight.
X-ray image that was taken. Only 2% of people who are diagnosed with small cell lung cancer survive it. Out of that 2%, it's basically, as the doctors explained to me, is that if it's found by accident.
I said, I'm sorry, but you do not give me an expiration date. That is above your pay grade. You do not tell me when I'm going to leave this planet.
And tonight at 10 to learn more about Joseph's unconventional treatment that he thinks may have played a major role in his recovery. Still to come, supporting Special Olympics Montana while fulfilling your pizza cravings. Details next.
Welcome. From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 530 News.
Welcome back. Giant Springs State Park is helping people get outside and be around other people while also social distancing. Every Wednesday evening in August, Giant Springs is hosting a trivia night. People can spread out on the lawn throughout the park and answer questions in a variety of topics, from food to nature, and even name that song. Organizers say it's a fun way for people to enjoy an event.
We've had a variety of ages and groups of people, and everyone just kind of sits on the lawn, and we're able to naturally social distance, and it's usually beautiful out during that time of day.
Trivia night at Giant Springs State Park is free. Questions start at 7 p.m. every Wednesday night through August.
For the last 9 years, Special Olympics Montana athletes and law enforcement officers have teamed up for the annual Tip a Cop fundraiser at Mackenzie River Pizza. But due to COVID-19 pandemic, Tip a Cop has gone virtual. For the month of August, in addition to the typical in-house donations, guests now have the ability to donate using their online ordering platform. Also, $2 from the purchase of every Special Guardian pizza purchased will be donated directly to Special Olympics Montana.
Due to COVID-19, our Special Olympics event is all moved digitally, but that's great news for us because it just means it's all month long now instead of just one day, once a month, a year.
The athletes are still doing their thing, and we still need to support them.
Mackenzie River is also starting a hashtag Twist for Tips challenge on social media. They're asking people to post a video of them doing the twist to raise awareness and funds for Special Olympics Montana.
Now that song is stuck in my head, do the twist. Temperatures tonight falling down to 54 degrees in Great Falls and Lewistown. Don't go away, your 7-day forecast is coming up next.
Get Storm Tracker weather starts now with Grant Garland.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you have had a pleasant Tuesday afternoon so far. Take a look at this with me. It looks great outside, just a few clouds out. In the back, you got Tracy's down there too. Looks great. Been seeing a couple of people walking in there. 90 degrees right now in Great Falls. Actually, that was what we were observed today. 89 in Helena, 76 in Cut Bank. Out towards Lewistown, 86 degrees and 87 in Havre. Now, the average for this time of year is around 84 degrees, so we're well above that. The record set back in 1996. When it was 101 degrees. Also, the year that the movie Twister came out, one of my absolute favorite movies with Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt. Apparently they're remaking it. I'm not a fan of that. Currently temperatures 89 in Helena, 86 in Great Falls, 90 in Havre. Out towards, though, Jordan, 95 degrees. Very warm for you guys, and 91 in Glasgow. As far as our winds are concerned, well, we have had a breezy day, especially for the Electric City. 30-mile-per-hour wind gust. Only 16 in Helena, 22, though, in Lewistown, 23 in Jordan, and 17 in Glasgow. over the last 3 hours, we have been looking at showers and thunderstorms really packing a punch and moving out towards the Dakotas. Elsewhere, we're just looking at mostly sunny skies and staying dry for all of us. The National Weather Service, they have issued a red flag warning now for almost the entire state of Montana. Now here's the trick though. Everywhere west of this white line, we're looking at a red flag warning being lifted right around 9 o'clock tomorrow. Everywhere east of this line, we should be seeing this warning lifted at midnight tomorrow. So heads up. Most of the state is under a red flag warning due to low humidity levels as well as gusty winds. As we head throughout the day tomorrow, right around 2 p.m., already looking at several spots being in the elevated risk for fire weather. Also down toward between Billings as well as Miles City, looking at almost some possible extreme levels. And this goes on really until 7 o'clock. And then even after that, Lewistown up towards Hayes, we're still looking at a good chance for an elevated risk in fire weather. As far as our temperatures are our winds are concerned, well, we will be looking at 10 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts for a lot of folks tomorrow. So that is also that's not a good sign because our winds are going to be gusting. How, though, dry will we get tomorrow? Well, we are looking at our humidity levels really dropping right around 2 p.m. And that's when we'll be the driest here in Great Falls. As far as what we can expect with precipitation, we may get some light rain tomorrow evening. Most of us, though, will start to see clouds build in as we head throughout the morning hours. And the best chance to really see any rain will be Lewistown. Now, watch this. As we go throughout the night, we do see that kind of big blob of green go through the electric city, but I don't expect that to really happen. I think it's going to, we'll just see dry conditions for us all. And then on Thursday, we're expecting a partly sunny day. Our temperatures, though, thankfully will drop down to around 79 degrees on Thursday as a weak cold front, that is, passes through on Wednesday. 78 on Saturday before we warm back up to the low 90s on Monday and Tuesday. As far as our temperatures are concerned tonight, 54 degrees for our friends in Lewistown, 50 in White Sulphur Springs, 54 in Great Falls as well as Helena. And as we head throughout the doors tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., 57 degrees with partly sunny skies. Those clouds will build in as we head throughout the day. 86 though, all in all tomorrow, 79 on Thursday, 81 on Friday. We do see sunny skies Saturday and Sunday, and temperatures aren't going to be that bad. So, I might go out kayaking. I don't know about y'all. Back to you, Tim.
All right, thanks, Grant. Young Montana Cowboys and Cowgirls are back from a big competition in Oklahoma. We'll check in with one bright young star after the break.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 530 News.
Welcome back. A handful of local cowboys and cowgirls have made their way back from Oklahoma after competing in the high school rodeo national finals.
MTN's Dom Tibbetts checked in with one Whitehall racer to talk about her experience.
Back in June, we shared with you the special connection between Delaney Scafani and her horse Oakley. Fresh off a state title in pole bending, the Whitehall duo was gearing up for the high school rodeo national finals in Guthrie, Oklahoma, a stage they were both unfamiliar with.
It was definitely nerve-wracking. I know my horse wasn't used to it, and I wasn't used to being on that big of a rodeo, but yeah, it was a good experience to learn how to deal with that.
The experience gave Delaney a handful of valuable lessons that she now gets to use as she prepares for the upcoming high school season and a repeat trip to next year's nationals.
Being able to ignore the stuff that you can't control and be able to go in there and lay down a run for, we'll be better at that next year, hopefully. We'll be more seasoned and ready to go.
Delaney's return home may have been a bittersweet moment. Bitter because she didn't bring back a belt buckle, but sweet because the Whitehall community embraced her with a massive amount of support. And right alongside her this whole time was her family, every step of the way.
There was definitely the support, and being able to do that as a family was fun. It was a highlight of the year.
Delaney's senior year of high school kicks off in less than a few weeks, and there's a whole lot she's looking forward to. But above all, she, along with so many incoming high school seniors, are just hoping that life starts to go back to the way it used to be.
I'm looking forward to it being normal. The COVID is kind of crazy, and I know a lot of the stuff going back to school is going to be a little different than we're used to, but hopefully we can keep going the COVID and we'll get it back to normal.
In Whitehall, Dom Tibbetts, MTN Sports.
And don't go away, we'll be right back.
Well, one last look. We are under a red flag warning until tomorrow at 9 p.m. and that's for those west of Lewistown, east of Lewistown, looking at that extending until midnight. So heads up due to low humidity levels as well as gusty winds. That's what we're looking at. Temperatures tonight, 54 degrees in a lot of places. Havre, Great Falls, Lewistown, and Helena. 57 in Malta and 62 in Glasgow. As far as we go throughout the day, tomorrow temperatures will be around 57 degrees with partly sunny skies as we wake up, but clouds will be building in as we head throughout the day. Overall, 86 degrees for us in the Electric City as well as Lewistown and the capital. 87 in Hayes, 100 though in Miles City. Congratulations, if only that was a report card. Temperatures will drop down to 79 degrees on Thursday with partly sunny skies. We will though look at a nice weekend, so if you have plans to go outside, I would say, hey, go for it.
All right, well, if you thought you saw Halloween candy during a recent trip to the store, it's true. Candy companies and some retailers put out Halloween candy early this year to try and make up for slowing in sales because of the pandemic.
Companies like Hershey's are doing a mix of Halloween-themed candy and wrappers along with larger bags of traditionally wrapped goodies for people to buy more treats for themselves. Hershey says more than half of candy sold at Halloween is bought as a treat for the person buying it. Okay, Tim, your favorite?
Probably the little Snickers bars.
Oh, great.
I'm a Three Musketeer fan.
I'll go with the Twix any day.
Twix.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
See, we could all bring in our favorites.
There you go.
We have our own Halloween. We have the masks already.
Let's do it in August. Halloween in August.
I'll see you back here at 10.